almost 100 years since it happened, Americans can't stop thinking about the misery that was the Great Depression. We watch carefully for parallels to our modern problems. We look back to find fail-proof businesses to start, but it's difficult to make one-for-one comparisons with then and now. I've got some business ideas of the era that do serve as great examples, but more interestingly, we can rally around the entrepreneurial traits that brought the people behind those ideas success, even during a time of widespread disparity. Resourcefulness, creativity, and a refusal to back down. Put simply, the businesses that succeeded during the Great Depression were the ones that focused on how useful they could be to their customers and the world around them. That didn't mean just simple products or solutions to the bare basics either. Even the drive-in movie theater was invented during the Great Depression. You could check out the video we did all about it, links here and in the description. It is one of my favorite ideas, no contest. Make sure to subscribe as well. The fact of the matter is that when those financial tides shift, businesses naturally need to readjust as well. The instinct for many entrepreneurs when we spy looming economic dips is to pull back, to minimize operations across the board and go into hibernation mode. Meanwhile, the problems that consumers and markets experience continue to bubble. People don't stop needing support. That's the moment when entrepreneurs like us step in, providing some solutions and ideas. There are a few core businesses that seemed to ride out the strongest through the Great Depression: pantry staples, alternative education, and marketing. Some of the world's most resilient efforts in those industries were born in the midst of this era. I'll briefly break down a case study of each one by one. Then in the next section of the video, we can look at some of the ways to translate them to today. If you want us to dive into any of these businesses in a later video, businesses not on this list, comment below and let us know what you'd like to hear more about. I mean, we have more than 800 business ideas and how-to guides on our site and counting. You can always check out TRUiC.com in the meantime if you're looking for more. Now, first, pantry staples. This isn't groundbreaking news. Food is a universal need, but pricing, demand, and even branding of food products do change depending on the economy. Believe it or not, Fritos were considered a pantry staple solution for many throughout the Great Depression. Gustavo Olguin sold his fryer, list of customers, and his recipe for now famous fried corn chips to C.E. Doolin for $100. 100 Depression dollars. When he purchased the Fritos recipe, Doolin's whole family pitched in to create a production system in their kitchen and refine the recipe. Most importantly, his family wrote up some recipes that used Fritos in accessible ways. They printed these recipes on the packaging and distributed them in magazine ads to promote this newly available cheap product. In a time when crops weren't being distributed and store shelves lacked affordable choices, Fritos offered calorie-dense flexibility. Besides putting a major squeeze on food production, the Depression era brought overwhelming challenges to our second topic, education. School attendance skyrocketed even though public budgets tanked. People were seeking to break from the molds of traditional jobs and career paths. In 1932, Miles Horton and a few others founded the Highlander Folk School in Monteagle, Tennessee, one of the first alternative schools in America. Highlander Folk School fought segregation in the labor movement, trained union organizers and leaders in 11 southern states, and by the late 1930s served as the CIO education center for the region. When community members come together and find ways to keep people educated, inspired, and connected, it is a big piece of preventing local stagnation any further than what might usually happen in times of widespread need. And our third business, marketing. During the Great Depression, a new advertising and media trend was making huge gains: nightly broadcasts of sponsored radio dramas. Since they were often sponsored by beauty and cleaning supply brands, they came to be known as soap operas. The married writing duo Frank Humert and Anne Schumacher worked at a Chicago-based radio advertising agency. Then in 1932, they produced the Procter & Gamble-sponsored radio serial Ma Perkins when Frank had the idea that just maybe women wanted more from sponsored radio programs than beauty and cooking tips. Ma Perkins, which ran for 27 years, was the soap opera that is widely regarded as the mother of story-based advertising. This technique led to an enthusiastic doubling of P&G's radio advertising budget every 2 years through the Great Depression. That's how effective it was. Pantry staples, education, and marketing are all still huge parts of our lives and businesses today, even though they generally look pretty different. How can we bring lessons from the past to the present? There are a lot of ways, but here are some key takeaways. From pantry staples, give customers the most bang for their buck. Culturally, we change what we value in food products, which needs to be met with constant creativity, and that provides an opening for new products. But the winning ingredients to win in the massive food industry during downturns, according to history and several studies, is 1, clearly communicate value, like convenience, price per serving. 2, deliver nutritional benefits at that price. And 3, offer small indulgences. Also keep in mind that America is full of food deserts where people always need access to healthful, affordable food. From education, don't always listen to tradition. Listen to what your current audience wants. These new inspired schools of the 1930s grew from a deep sense of dissatisfaction with the status quo. Here's a modern education problem. 81% of American high school dropouts said learning real-world skills would have kept them in school. And recently, there are hundreds of thousands of students who report feeling unsatisfied and frustrated with their new online school realities. In the months and years ahead, e-learning won't disappear. It can even be an important tool for enabling education. Yet, whether it's supplemental socializing outside the classroom, nuanced career training, or meetups to foster thinking, there are a lot of ways that these new challenges can be addressed. And from marketing, be heard. Don't back down, especially when others do. When Procter & Gamble started investing in radio material, the family radio was becoming an increasing standard in American homes. But by using storytelling-based radio advertising, Procter & Gamble really stood out. Even Fritos made sure to get creative with their advertising in order to spread the word on their new product, and it paid back in huge dividends. Whether you're marketing for your business or making marketing your business, don't be afraid to try new techniques, new platforms, new ideas. It could pay off massively while others end up disappearing from public view. With lessons from the past, we have a chance to improve systems that have already been imagined, or build something entirely new. Prepare for uncertainty, not by hiding away, but by channeling some of the traits that make entrepreneurs, small business owners, and local organizers so impactful. Resourcefulness, creativity, and a refusal to back down. If you want to learn more about small businesses, being an entrepreneur, and how to start a business you love, visit us at TRUiC.com and howtostartanllc.com.
Small businesses are the lifeblood of every community. We want you to be passionate and prepared for a lifetime of entrepreneurship. If you're looking for more inspiration, we made some free tools to generate ideas, find a name, and form your business. Find free resources and guides at TRUiC.com.